Good evening, Gotham. I think I'm figuring out this whole sound thing. Nope, I still didn't. Hard out every time. But one day I will figure it out and it'll be glorious. Or it'll be like not as fun because it'll be like, I miss the days when Ryan would just do a hard out and make an ass out of himself. Good evening. Yeah, good evening, Gotham. News dropped. As you know, as you may have known, may have not have known, they chose the villain for the Batman 2. And that was all dropped, of course, after I do my thumbnail and setup and everything else. But we are going to talk about it. I also want to talk about some Marvel Legends that were revealed today as well that are close to my heart. And I will go through them as vaguely as possible. And that's for Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse, the Into the Spider-Verse sequel, as well as like let's just hang out and chat for a bit too. I've got all these Marvel Legends I need to open. I still didn't open the ones from last week because we were just getting way too into it. But yeah, let's totally do that. But first, before we even start doing anything, I'm going to quickly say hello to the chat. There's a few of you here, and I want to say hi to you guys because without you, without you, I don't know what would happen. Because, hang on, before I even say hi to the chat, I want to point out that we are at about, we're just over 550 subs here, trying to get to 1,000. Again, for anyone who's new and watching, these prints, the book has signed them. One of them could be yours. We'll give the other two out in another draw as well. We'll just keep doing draws. I'm going to have some superpowers in that lot as well. And you're going to hear it here first. I'm going to have exclusive crew swag from Across the Spiderverse as a prize for when we hit 1,000 subs. And a copy of the Art of Across the Spiderverse book as well will also be part of that drop. So we got to get to 1,000, because if we don't get to 1,000, we can't do the draw, and then we can't, no one gets anything. No, we don't want that. We want to help everybody out and support everybody. And I think that's pretty cool. So with that said, let's say hi to everybody. Gotham Stalker, thank you. It was last week Friday, but thank you very much. Derek Hoover, catch the replay. Thank you for your shout-outs yesterday during Toy Anxiety as well. I don't think I didn't see it. I just let Craig and Abby control the chat. That's what I do. I try to keep my hands off of it. Payne's Toy Samples is here. Cougar, McGillicuddy, Richard, CPL, Nolan, Toy Art. I like that guy. Flash 739. He's my boy. Randall Gazelle. I am so sorry, Randall. But thank you for the birthday wishes. Yes, happy belated. Thank you, Silva Surfer. We got Brandon 3G here. Lucha Johnny, Big Daddy Doll. Well, hopefully not that big, but we'll see. And the other account, right? Peach and Pickles. Come on, Kayla. Also, if you're not following that account, everyone go follow Peach and Pickles for your positive sex memes. I hope I'm right there. Anyways, Craig Dukas, what's going on? Justin, how is it going? And again, please, if you like hanging out, if you like what you see here, hitting those like buttons help this show find other people. And then we can get closer to 1,000. And then I can get you more cool things, right? I think that's a total bonus, right? Yes, I do love the Marvel Legends retros as well, right? Jeff Morris, thank you for coming out here and hanging out. Chris Winkler, solid crowd tonight. Yes, and a solid crowd on AEW tonight as well. Jurassic Dave, 93. 93 is a good year. Shiny Plastic People. Oops. Uh-oh. Nobody needs to know. That's okay. Nobody saw it. You're all right, Shiny Plastic. It's all good. Awesome. Cool. Thank you all for being here and hanging out. Uh, let's talk about that news that did drop. We don't really know much more about it other than, and I didn't have a chance to really read up on it. I just only saw. I'm going headlines only on this one. It looks like Clayface is going to be the main villain for the Batman 2. I think that is an awesome choice. I am all for new villains we've never seen in movies and live action. I think he is, I think who knows what they do? It might not, they might go anywhere, I should say, with this. And if if you're doing crime, murder, mystery styles Batman, I mean that's Clayface is a good one to use because he'd have to use his detective skills to go and find things. And I always remember an animated series to be like, this mud is from this area of town. How did it get here? And then he'd be like, oh, this clay has a molecular structure. It was on the bottom of my boot. It means it's Clayface. So it's I really hope they do that. I hope they don't try to go full Christopher Nolan on it and try to make it too, you know, like, I don't know, I don't want to say grounded, but like I want them to do the shape shifting and turn to clay and then look like something. I really want them to kind of go all out with it. And I feel like that's something Batman's been missing, like, almost what, 20 years where we haven't had Batman fight. He's always fighting guys that are just like, I'm Bane, but I'm just a big, strong guy. He doesn't do the Venom thing, right? The closest we got might have been Scarecrow using the gas, but I think that might be it. So I'm really, really hoping that Clayface, they kind of go all out with it and they get themselves a, what? I hope they do a good like prosthetic makeup budget on that. I hope they bring in a good big makeup crew. I think I'd like them to rather do the Davy Jones kind of style thing with Clayface, where he's prosthetic makeup and then enhanced with VFX and CG assets. I think that would be the way to go. Plus, if anyone hasn't seen Feet of Clay from Batman animated series, that's hands down one of the best two-parters of the series. It goes under the radar, I find. Clayface episodes on Batman animated series. And there was also, and my first introduction to Clayface was the Mud Pack. That was what was it, a 3? It was a quite the little mini series within Batman. So again, if you haven't read those, I'm going to highly suggest going back and finding the Mud Pack. And again, I don't think those trades are inexpensive, to say the least. I think you can get them all still for a pretty good deal, and it might be something to look into before that market gets hot, right? That's what I'm hoping. But I'm super curious to who, like, again, we're still in the early stages. What did they say? Like 2025? We're not getting the second Batman movie, so we'll see what they give us. Yeah, I'm gonna finally open this one. I did take it out, right? The McFarlane Lex Luthor. Let's take this bad boy out. Let's take a look at it. All right. Let's take a look and see what the chat says. Sorry if my hands are full and I can't bring up your comments. But you will get the shout out for it. What do we got here? Right. Shiny Plastic People says, I don't know how he works in the reality of the Batman, but whatever, I'm into it. You know what? I'm into it too. And again, I hope they do that. I think they should just go for it. I am certain that there was a time when Batman was first released in 1930. Like, this guy fights gangsters. Why is he now fighting a woman who can control plants? What is this? So I think the only way to bring him into the universe is introduce him. That's the only way, right? Detective Bat. Oh, this is Jurassic Dave 93. Oop. I am going to have to use use my hands for some of this here. He says, Detective Batman on the big screen is great. I absolutely agree with that. That is my jam when it comes to Batman. Payne's Toy Sample says the man that can look like anyone is the foil for a detective. It's a good setup. Absolutely, agreed. I think that will make things way more interesting, and that'll give him the challenge he needs to become the world's greatest detective. Come on, Ratala! Right? I love that. Oh, La Rata. I've only seen the movie like a dozen times. You'd think I'd know it off. I could sing along to it by now. Flash 739. I hope they go the old school Batman 66 with false face. You know what? I'm down for a nod to that. If they decide to go that route, if they decide to do like a little like a nod, do a nod to it, just acknowledge it. I think I'd be totally down for that. Craig Duckus says Mud Pack was so dang good. I agree. Again, folks, check it out if you can find it. Get it. Should be pretty easy to get in. If you got any place nearby that sells back issues, you should be good to go. Shiny Plastic People. That's a weird way to say Robin's Reckoning as the best two-parter. That's a fair point. Robin's Reckoning probably is a little better. Robin's Reckoning is so good. But yeah, the Clayface on Batman Animated Series was great. Yeah, you are correct. You are correct. I sit corrected. Flash 739, I know you have done music episodes, but would love for you to do a top 10 or fuck it, 50 of the Batman the Animated Series themes, like Feet of Clay, Two-Face. I will definitely, I know in my top 10 is definitely Heart of Ice. That theme is definitely in the top 5. Payne's Toy Samples, you need a cheetah for my lead. Yes, we need a cheetah. Gosh, we need a toy man. God, do you know what? It'd be kind of cool if McFarlane went all out and did the. I know DC Direct came out with Justice figures. I don't know if anyone remembers that. That was Alex Ross, and he pretty much did Super Friends, but like they grounded it, and not grounded it. I just mean it's the Super Friends cast, but in a really good comic, and it's all painted, and of course it's Alex Ross, so it's beautiful. And I know that DC Direct made a series of toys based on Justice, but you know what? They also did ones on Kingdom Come, and he's doing that too. So you know what? I say let him do it. Brandon 3G, Doell, we need Feet of Clay watch along. Yeah, as soon as I am finished on my crunch time at work, I will definitely get into more watch alongs, and I'm gonna do more flipping Star Wars on Toy Anxiety as well. I just need to get through this. Need to get through the next 5 weeks. That's what's gonna happen. Yes, right. Payne's Toy Samples, Toy Man for sure. Agreed. The 80s experience. Thank you for being here. It's a great time to be a Batman figure fan. I want the Spin Masters floor. Oh, did you want it yesterday or you bought it yesterday? Either way, yeah, those are great. And it is a great time to be a Batman fan. And actually, a lot of the times it is. Even if we're not getting a lot of toys or even if the movies aren't great, there's always like the video games, like the Arkham Knight books are always really good, and the comics have been really good since New 52, like straight through from New 52 all the way to Rebirth, and Tom King's run. I think those are some of the best Batman comics we've ever gotten. So it's super, super exciting. Richard CPL says, we need a Legion of Doom headquarters playset for superpowers. I absolutely agree. Harry Dempsey, late as always, but I made it. But thank you for being here. And that's all that matters. I'll give you the up and ups. There we go. Justin Nicolosi, the Keaton Batman figure are showing up at Targets already. That's McFarlane's way, though, right? He announces it, and then they just appear in store, or they just appear in stores like Superpowers did, and then he announces it, right? Nolan, the ventriloquist would be pretty awesome. Agreed. Ventriloquist, Professor Pig. Those are probably my 2 most wanted villains to see in a movie, because I like it when they do that. That's just my jam, right? I like that that new stuff. Randall, the new adventures of Batman, where Robin saved a little girl who was being hunted by Clayface, was so good and heartbreaking for Robin when she was reabsorbed back into him. Because it's the ending. It's like charged for robbery, kidnapping, what else? And then Robin goes, and murder, right? So good. Oh, spoiler alert. Toy Art, Justice was a fab limited series. A+ figures for that line too. Agreed. It'd be hard to top them, but I mean, McFarlane seems to do Alex Ross stuff pretty good. So, I mean, I'd be all for a re-release of those. Plus, I think a lot of those figures are expensive. I've got a few of them. I've got like, I think I have like Green Arrow and Black Canary. I have Batman, Superman. Yeah, I got a few of those. They were great toys. Yeah, I agreed. Agreed. Shiny plastic. Yeah, Batman had that armor that was inspired by the 66 Batmobile. Dude. Yeah, don't even get me started. Those were, I forgot about the armors, and now I'm just like, oh, come on. Like, that should have been a toy line. You know what I mean? Like, they were so good. Two of my favorite DC direct figures were the Darwin Cook New Frontier. Agreed. I have a few of those as well. Did you watch the Batman? This is Sal Sanchez. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. Do you want Batman? Do you watch Batman the Doom that came to Gotham? I have not watched it yet. I have not had time to watch a lot. Like I get Mandalorian. I watch Mandalorian, and then I watch the Bad Batch. I still haven't watched the Bad Batch yet. And that's really all I get a lot of time for. Again, 5 more weeks, we can catch up on all of that, and I can't wait. Lucha Johnny, I heard Legion of Doom, and my first thought was Road Warriors. What a rush. Yeah, I want a Legion of Doom versus WWE Legion of Doom animated crossover. I would love that. They should just have Hawk and Animal join the Legion of Doom. It would just be perfect. The 80s experience, the ultimate McFarlane flex would be dropping the Keaton Batman figures the day after the Flash Taylor dropped. Dude, straight up. He pretty much did, right? Like, it's insane to me that he did that. Payne's toy samples. Got my Arkham Riddler today. We'll be opening him Saturday night. Nice. So make sure everyone checks out Payne's Toy Samples channel. Make sure to tune in there on Saturday night. You know, we're not really doing a heck of a lot on Saturdays. However, I don't know if you're doing, or everyone's watching WrestleMania, I'm assuming, right? Because we got to watch, well, I guess it's not night. Cody Rhodes is night 2, right? I actually can't remember the schedule now. But things are really heating up for that WrestleMania card. Holy moly. It's too bad it always takes so long sometimes. Whew. Cannot wait. Gotham Stalker, whatever happened to Superpower's Invisible Jet? Has it been on the shelf the whole time and I can't see it? Bwomp, bwomp. Hey, listen, Gotham Stalker, I think that is coming out. I'm hoping that'll be announced soon. And, I mean, San Diego Comic-Con's right around the corner as well. But I still have this weird feeling we're getting that, the Batmobile, the Tim Drake Robin, that wave. I think we're getting all of that before San Diego Comic-Con, and I think we're going to get all new announcements there, which is pretty darn exciting as far as I'm concerned. Flat. Oh, by the way, I'm opening Mongol. Look at the amount of plastic used for this absurd box. Can you believe this? Love this character though, and again, thank you, Matt Bush, for these figures. These are fantastic. I love them. Sorry, where was I here? Yeah, Flash 739. I like how the TV show Gotham did Hugo Strange. That's all I cared about. Yeah, Hugo Strange would be a good one for. You could base a whole movie off Hugo Strange. I think that's doable. I think that's absolutely doable. I would love that. Chris Doherty, dude, welcome. Thanks for hanging out. Lucha says it is Roman and Cody on night 2. Right? We all got to be there. The Matt Bush is here. The one I just thanked for the figures. That WCW ring is no Eternia so far. Man. Okay. it's you can't compare the two. That's a I get why, like, of course, you're going to compare the two because they're both Mattel. It's the same reason why you compare Rancors to Sentinels. It's all because it's company brand and that kind of stuff. But wrestling collectors are a different breed than Motu collectors. And I think for WCW, that is a wrestling collector thing, right? Where if you're doing the Eternia playset, that's a toy collector thing, right? Like, you got to remember, Craig bought one out of FOMO, which is why he ended up doing a draw to give his away once he calmed down about it. But he had, because everyone, even if you're not really, if you're a big toy collector and even if Motu's not your thing, you know about the Eternia playset. So there's a different hype level around it. I think that's the difference there. That's what I think. Shiny Plastic People, I assume Sammy and KO take on Usos night one. I agree, and I actually hope that's the case. No offense to the women's title matches, but there's just been more story and love and care put into Sammy and the Usos in that storyline. I just think that's how you got to end it. Like, sorry, the bloodline is the number one story. And this is me as a big AEW guy. And I'm trying to not always pit AEW and WWE against each other. But dang, man, that Monday Night Wars is still running through my veins, so I can't help it. But that is the biggest storyline in wrestling. Hands down. The bloodline is the biggest story in wrestling. And if you're like a big AEW fan and that's a hard pill to swallow, I'm sorry, but I don't make the rules. It's just how it is. Hang on, what do we got here? Honor Guard, DC, thank you for being here tonight. I really enjoyed the DC Direct Ed McGuinness style figures. I wish I held on to them. You know what? I still have my Joker figure from that line. And you wish you held on to them? I wish I bought more of them. Because to me, I always regret not getting the Hawkman figure. God, Ed McGuinness, man, I have his Superman run, and I love that run so much. And I have the Batman Superman World's Finest run that he did too. It's so good. It's so good. Lucha Johnny's people rumbling saying that it's either that or Rhea Flair. Rhea Ripley too. Okay, I'll give them that because you know what? If they decide to go with Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair for night one, Rhea Ripley is also one of the most popular wrestlers, superstars, whatever you want to call it. She is also way up there. And that storyline with her and Dominic, and then with Dominic and Ray, that one's also so good right now. It's, you know what? It's so nice to see WWE kind of having stories that are fun and good, engaging. Again, like it's really, really good, you know? Richard CPL says, never got into wrestling. The only time I had to watch was on Sunday and my father had control of the TV. I would catch like the first 5 minutes and then the channel was changed. Oh no. Oh man. Yeah. It's okay. But you know what? You can always still get into it now if you can. It's not for everybody. I understand that it's not for everybody. It's another form of storytelling and good guys versus bad guys. And, you know, some people can't read comics. Some people can't read novels. And I don't know. I think everybody watches movies, right? I think that's just how it goes. Paints toy samples. We need a Scarface toy, Professor Pig, and I'll be done with my Batman robes. Yeah, see, it doesn't... Do we have a Poison Ivy? You need a Poison Ivy. Right? Boogeyman 13. Awesome. Thank you for being here. It's okay to be late. Oh, no, I'm late. I love your 89 Batman. Finally got me, by the way. Nice. Didn't jump into the Kenner wagon, But I did grab both versions of the 1/18th Mattel Multiverse Keaton bats. Awesome. That's a great. That's a. Those are great toys as well. See, this is awesome. He looks like such a dick. Mongo, man, great figure. Great figure. Thank you again, Matt Push, for these. Right? Toy samples, the FOMO, the collector drug of choice, dude. It's for real, right? Hang on. It's chats. I'm still not used to being able to do all this. Richard CPL, I've learned to be happy with what I get as a collector. Yes, and that's a good place to be, and not fret about what I missed. Either because of not finding it or just too expensive for my budget. That's the way to go in, man. If you go in getting hung up, whether it's like, I'm a completist, I need everything, and you can't find something, becomes an exclusive. Like, could you imagine trying to be a completist on a line that does must needed characters as a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive? Like G.I. Joe used to do that. The 3/3/4 inch line, the anniversary Joes, they did that. They used to do that all the damn time. And it was like, either I get it or I don't, I guess. Right? That's how it is. But you're going in it with the right way, right? Shiny Plastic People. I'm an AEW guy, and I know the Bloodline storyline, as we all should. Chris Doherty, the Ed McGuinness Hawkman was amazing. Agreed. The 80s experience, Superman, Batman, had a great run of artists when it started. Absolutely, it did. It was like their top book for the longest time. Lucha Johnny, Dom Mysterio has improved phenomenally since he turned heel. He did, and he's just wrestling more, and he's traveling more. He's just doing more. That'll just make you better. The 80s experience going from Turner to McGuinness was insane. It was, but also so good. I miss Michael Turner quite a bit. Richard CPL did find 20 plus LJN at a garage sale and picked them up for a great price. They were played with, but still fun to find them. Oh, dude, it's sometimes toys with a little bit of wear and tear on them can be actually quite nice, quite charming. And I actually sometimes I'd love to have a loved toy on the shelf sometimes more than something that's like vintage but minty. It depends how loved it was. Right? Randall, greatest face turn and greatest heel turn in history for me. Nikita Koloff helping Susty. That is a deep cut. Nikolai Koloff is that's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Paints toy sample. I got the Mothex Poison Ivy on pre-order. Oh yeah, perfect. Yeah, toy art. I finally got 89 Toy Biz Batman on card. Yeah, which is beautiful, by the way. That face sculpt makes it Nolan. That face sculpt makes him look more like he's gonna taking a gut shot and take a girlfriend. It's totally true. Randall, Hawkman, from Mattel's DC. That's another great figure as well. I agree with that too. That's another good figure. Like just Hawkman, I don't know, man. I find Hawkman to be very toyetic. Justin, so I got my Indy 6-inch figure today, and hang on, sorry. Let me try that again. I spaced out. So I was thinking like Indiana Jones. So I got my Indy 6-inch figure today. And I think you got some typos here. And I had to have half a beard, right? Oh, hang on. Everyone help me out here. Yeah. I'm hoping the waves get better. Your Indy had half a beard. Sorry. It's been a long day. I'm hoping the waves get better as they go because the likeness of Harrison Ford is not really there. Oh, no. Let's look. Actually, I want to quickly show something off. I didn't get to show this off yesterday during Toy Anxiety. This is one of my pickups, and it was actually a birthday gift from my buddy Brandon from BC DeLorean. And I think we're gonna have to do a game night on this channel one night. Because he scored me this. The Batman 3D board game. And I think I'm going to have to set it up. And I think I'm going to have to get Lexi to come up to Vancouver. And yes, Lexi is coming back some way, somehow, because now her new work schedule has also gotten in the way. It's one thing then another, because nothing can be easy, as my buddy Paul would say. And, I think I'm going to still, even if Lexi's not here, I'm going to stick to this Wednesday night show, even if it's just me and all of you in the chat. We're just hanging out. We're just doing our thing. I was wondering why things sounded so quiet. I'm just going to pump on some background music. Right? I was like, man, see, now it sounds so quiet and lonely without Lexi. And so I think her and I will do a different show on different nights when she can work or when she doesn't have to work. And she's going to start making her own content for this channel as well. That it's going to be just Lexi. And because she wants to do more for this as well. She's just had so much going on. So let's all send her some love and support. And she'll be back soon. I know it's been a long time. It's almost been 3 months, but she'll be back. She'll be back! All right. Let's get into this next. Right? Haven't seen that for a hot moment. Dude, we're gonna play it on the channel. I'm certain of it. But let's take a look at what was revealed today from Marvel Legends. I know this is a Gotham. We usually talk DC, we talk Batman, but can't help it. This did get dropped, and I just have this feeling we wouldn't get too far into it on Toy Anxiety because it dropped on a Wednesday and not on a Monday. We'll do that. There we go. I'm an adult. All right. Oh, first off, if anyone's in the GDL Discord, please message Colleen and let her know she spelled cyborg wrong. But here we go. Here's some of our first looks, our first official looks that no one has ever seen before of the Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse Marvel Legends wave. I can see why this figure is not a Build-A-Figure. I'm pretty sure some people are like, why isn't this a Build-A-Figure? Look how much is there. And I understand they've done giant figures like Sugar Man and all that kind of stuff before. And I know people are like, why isn't this a Build-A-Figure? And I think if looking at this, and I think the scale on this thing is actually pretty huge as well. If it's anything like in the trailers for Across the Spider-Verse. I feel like the music's a little loud. Let me turn it down. All right. And this has me excited. And yes, this is Spider-Woman. This is Cyborg Spider-Woman. I want to make that super clear, which again tells you just how insane this movie is going to be. This is great. I love the packaging. Yes, this one's in a box. The other ones are in a bubble. I cannot wait to own this. I will be buying this entire wave. I should check and read. And by the way, for those of you who don't know which website I'm using at the moment, why it looks so nice and so clean, it's because I'm using geekdadlife.com for all my toy news and pictures, because this is amazing. This is amazing, right? So there we go. These were the other figures that were revealed today as well, officially, right? We got Miles, we got Gwen, we got 2099. Not gonna lie, I'm loving the textures on Miles. I think everyone looks great. They killed it on this one. Yes, this is Jessica. This is Jessica Drew. For those of you who this is a combination of different Spider-Women kind of rolled into one. And this is a great nod to a few Spider Women. And I love this figure. I think it's great. I am going to use my motorbike that came with Black Widow. I'm going to use that for this. There's the Miles figure, right? Nice bubble, nice packaging. I think this is beautiful. I cannot wait to see this movie in the theater. Like, look at that. That just looks so good. Like, they killed it, man. This looks so good. I'm so excited. Here we go. Peter B. Parker in his traditional sweatpants is seen in Spider-Verse 1. Right? Looks so good. I'm glad they made this figure too. Right? We got Gwen with her new hair and her new kicks. Again, just beautiful. If the paint job's like this for all of them. I don't know if you remember the first 2-pack they released for Spider-Verse, Marvel Legends, and it was just repaints of the comic ones, and it just like, this doesn't work. And then they re-released the solo ones later. I'm glad these are getting out sooner, and I know, and it gets to happen because the movie got pushed back. It got delayed like 6 months. But again, beautiful, beautiful figure. Look at that. Even with the mask on, looks so good. Mask down, hood up. Mask off, hood down. Looks so good. There he is. $20.99. Right? Look at them forearm blades. So good. And there we go. Spider-Punk. One of the coolest designs. And redesigns for the movie, right? Like, I'm hoping everyone has seen this. Seen the trailer and knows who Spider-Punk is from the comics, and just how much more I prefer this version. But maybe I'm just biased because I'm just closer to it, right? But again, hang on, let's go back here. Look at those hands for the playing of guitar. Like, that's just so good. There it is. The Spot figure, which has me, this was the talk. This was the talk at the studio today. Was this Spot figure, because the Miles hand and head, and Spot just looks so good. He looks so good. And does that say Across the Spider-Verse Part 1? Yes, it is Part 1. Just as a heads up. Right? Love it. This looks so good. There we go. Go back to the 3 of them. Is this the first ever pregnant Marvel Legends? I think it is. I think it is. I wonder where else they can use that buck, right? Rick Shards of Glass Jazz. Hey, Doell. Really appreciate the weekly DC themed show. And here, you hopped on just in time to talk about Marvel. Yeah, was late getting here, but I'm here now. Well, thank you for being here, Rick. Right? Got the McFarlane Calabac figure today. Oh man, I'm gonna have to look for that. Might be as good as Mega Bane. I missed out on Mega Bane, but I'll get there. Right? I love that Spot figure. Me too, toy art. I love it as well. Right? Flash 739. Not so familiar with this rendition. Well, guess what? If you watch the trailer, if you watch the latest trailer for Across the Spider-Verse, you'll find that there's a lot of new Spider people that have never made the light of day in the comics. So you know what? Get ready, because they're going places you're probably not going to be ready for just when you watch it. Just when you watch the trailer. Look at all the Spider people and take a look at how many are just brand new and made for the movie. It's insane. It's insane. Right? I'll go back up here a little bit. Marvel putting Spider-Verse figs on cards with plastic. That's from Matt Bush. Yeah, looks like they are. Right? Richard, nice score. Was able to score the Batman Returns Kids puzzle from the time. I haven't tried putting it together to see if it's all there, but the artwork's great. Oh, dude, it's probably worth it alone just for the box. Right? Absolutely. Dustin Fickelstein, thank you for being here. Thank you. Again, I don't think I didn't see your shout-outs last night during Toy Anxiety, so thank you for that. Not a big Marvel Legends collector, except for a few of the retro Spider-Man ones, but this wave looks amazing, and I agree. I think they absolutely killed it. Honor Guard DC, Hasbro is going to charge a deluxe figure because she's pregnant. Nope. As far as it looks like here, she is a regular figure. Flash 739, I hope these actually make it to store shelves this time. I hope so too. I'm sure they will. Dustin McFickelstein, the design and aesthetic of these characters is awesome. I dig. We'll be picking up these for sure, and I will as well. Absolutely. Shiny Plastic People, I'll probably pick up Spider-Punk. Picked up the ones you want. I'm glad they're giving us a variety. I hope they do a wave too. I don't know if they will. I got no say in it. I'm just some guy, right? Nolan, yeah, it's 2 figures. The Jessica's 2 figures, right? Shiny Plastic People. Spider-Punk can join the toy band with Eric and Scott Pilgrim. Oh, man, that'd be awesome. Flash 739, pregnant. Guess it has. It's not a 2-pack, right? These are already hitting some stores too. Faster turnaround than McFarlane. Well, that's only Boogeyman 13. That's only because the movie was pushed back. These toys were made and ready, I believe, to drop they returned. Oh, what was it? Because I remember toys were dropping in summer of last year because the movie was supposed to drop last year. So I think they were able to catch these before they dropped for when the movie got delayed. But I think a few have slipped some places, as we probably all saw on social media. Matt Bush, these aren't really retro, but they seems Marvel that they really put Marvel use for plastic for the cards. I agree. I think this is a great way to kind of cheat the system a little bit on this no plastic stuff. And I think these packages just look so good. But again, I'm biased. I'm super biased. Richard, digging the Miles and Gwen figures. Even might pick up the $20.99. Dude, get the ones you love. The rest will follow. Hi, Brandon 3G. Love McFarlane, but seeing these figures makes me think of how an epic DC line by Marvel Legends team could be. Ah, crap, I forgot to add. You know what? We had Ryan Ting on the show on Toy Anxiety yesterday. If you have not checked it out, please do. He drops some legendary knowledge on crowdfunding. And I learned so much without him giving away and really, it was super informative. I have a completely new understanding of how crowdfunding works for these, for HasLabs and probably for Mattel Creations and what goes into it. And a new appreciation for all the stuff that they do. It's mind-blowing, right? It's so good. Jarhead, pass for me. Well, it just means more for me. But Jar, thank you for being here. Toy Anxiety. Toys, yes, Craig. We were talking about toys. If you were here earlier, you would have saw the pickups I didn't show off yesterday. Everyone say hi to Craig. Monsters from Beyond, I'm ever so late, but that's okay, because you're here. Thank you for being here. Black Phoenix 77, the Spider-Woman with all the hair is the one who's supposed to be pregnant. Well, she looks pregnant. Dude, hang on. Let me get that screen back up. We'll go slower. You tell me. Right? Come on, folks. She's right there. Great figure. Getting 2 of them. Flash 739. I hope that since Hasbro canceled the 3 3/4 Marvel Legends, they go the McFarlane route with superpowers, but continue the Secret Wars line. Well, that's not what's happening. They announced that that's getting canceled for a 5-inch figure line made for kids. Although every one of my friends who are kidults are planning on buying it so that kids can't have them. I might get a couple, but that's beside the point. Daniel, nothing better than when the doorbell rings and two box orders, 2 of toys. What'd you get? What's in the boxes? We need to know, please. Toy art. Ting was awesome last night. He also has a dope toy setup. Do you know who does not have a dope setup? Craig and Abby. If you watch the show, you'll see the greatest botch in Toy Anxiety YHS history. And it was amazing because I think if you watch it happen, I'm trying not to laugh because I don't know if Craig can hear, and I'm just like, oh no, because I don't want Craig to get mad because I'm laughing. And I was also in shock because I was trying to think of where he left off, and Ryan Ting just started talking, and I was like, oh, thank God, because we were trying to not sell. We were trying to do a no sell on the botch, but we tried our best. But yeah, dude, check out the episode I honestly think it was one of the best episodes we've had on Toy Anxiety, just information wise, right? And it's legit because it's from someone who actually works in the toy industry. So, right? By Phoenix, it's brilliant to me. Yep, absolutely. Monsters from Beyond had 2 boxes yesterday, Fraudmonger and my Big Bad Toy Store loot. That's amazing. Hope you're enjoying your Frogmongers. Those toys look actually way better than, I was kind of like, it's a hard pass. And I was like, not for me. I'm not saying I have FOMO, but maybe a little bit of FOMO, but I'll sleep. It'll be fine. Honor Guard DC. I thought I spotted Craig and another YouTuber's video for Toylanta in Atlanta. Was I seeing things? You probably were not, because Craig, Abby, and Jacob, and the other Abby, they were all there together. Chris Doherty, the cat knocking over the camera. Yes. Right. Joy Craig pulled a shockmaster last night. He absolutely did. He's probably stopped watching because he's probably like, oh God, I don't have time for this. Boogeyman 13. Craig's cat decided to join in on the fun and giving him a hard time. Hard time, baby. Hard times is when your cat comes through and destroys your live feed YouTube setup. Randall. I got the retro Return of the Jedi figures yesterday, plus the Target Man-at-Arms. One's in tomorrow, along with the retro Indie Way from Amazon and Target. Amazing. I'm definitely getting the retro Indies. I wasn't going to, and then they announced Temple of Doom, which is my favorite Indiana Jones movie. And I'm getting them. I love that movie so much. Richard CPL, you didn't need to bring me down. Didn't know that Marvel Retros were canceled. They are. I'm sorry. Oh, well, I'm always finding something else to get. Dude, there's so much. So much. Yes, Monster from Beyond. I have Frog. Right? Odin 1. Thank you for being here. What's good? Toys are good. Toys are good. And Toys are Us. Well, if you're in Canada. Right? Did we want to talk about comics at all? Do we want to do a quick opening? I got this beautiful Robin 2 Deluxe Collector's Set. Are we down for opening comics, or are we gonna hang out and open some retros? I do kind of want to find Captain America now. But I saw people were grabbing from the dollar stores up here in Canada. Both Spider-Mans, the one in the black costume and the red and blue, were showing up there, in Green Goblin, and Captain America. So I haven't found any of those, right? But I got a bunch of these. I'm super, super stoked, right? Venom, Dark Phoenix. These are actually great. I'm disappointed in myself for sleeping on these. These are great. All right. Black Phoenix says, right? Let's open some comics. Let's open some comics. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. This is the Robin 2 Deluxe Collector's Set. And in here is all 4 newsstand issues, all 10 hologram issues, all 4 trading cards, 2 custom acid-free backer boards. Let's take a look. I didn't know this thing existed. I actually found it at around Christmas time in my local comic book shop back in my hometown of Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, in a store called Collector's Edge. That was the store I used to frequent when I was a teenager. And believe it or not, the original Collector's Edge burnt down. Burnt down in 98, I believe. And I was devastated. And there was a lot of rumors going around that there was oh, look at this. That there was some shenanigans with insurance. So people were always saying about it. Right? But man, beautiful, right? Look at that. It was rainbow before we even knew. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Nolan, you were there last week. You're at Collector's Edge. Did you grab anything? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. This is definitely stuff I have not seen. Kind of wish Jay was here. He's a big Tim Drake fan, too. I remember seeing the newsstand editions of these and just like, what is this? This is so good. Okay. Something fell out. I think it was the cards. Oh, man. Okay. Folks. Oh, I had one card fell out and I don't know where or if where it went. Oh no. My apologies, folks. Oh, I pulled a Craig. Okay. Well, we're just going to go through all this. There's so much here. Okay. Let's take a look. So that's one of the cards. I'm glad we have these like nice big fancy lights now. And we got that classic Joker card. These are so cool. I didn't know these existed. Did they? If anyone knows and can tell me if they had these cards in a set or packed in with comics, please let me know. This is that acid-free card bag, right? They're really going all out with these, with the shiny on this for sure. But I'm here for it, 100%. 100%. I'm all here for it. So here we go. For any of those who don't remember these are so minty. Oh man, these are so minty. I don't think I've ever owned a Robin comic this minty. This is wild. This is absolutely wild. I'm loving all of it. Oh, I'm a hot mess. I'm knocking everything over. Joker's wild. Look at that cover, right? Man, what a time. What an absolute time. These are all issues number 1, by the way. Every one of them. These are all just the different variants. Right? These are so good. Thanos Copter, I see you. Don't think I don't see you. Beautiful cover. McFarlane, get on this. This is what we need. This Batman. Right here. That's what we need. Right? Oh, you picked up Masterverse issue 2. So here we go. And here's just the basic newsstand one. Also, again, these covers are beautiful. Right? Number 2. Like, look how colorful that is. I'm not saying they don't make covers like they used to, because they do. You can still get some amazing, beautiful covers. Like, artists today, man, they're still so good. But man, do I ever miss holograms and gimmicks. I think it was 2016. DC went through a phase where they were doing blind bagged variants. You didn't know which variant you were going to get. And I fell into that trap so hard because it was so much fun, because it was like getting trading cards. Right, so good. In the regular newsstand edition. Right. I remember seeing these at the Tramps on Second. Nolan, you might remember Tramps on Second. Because that one still existed even when those same owners opened up Collector's Edge. Tramps on Second, Tramps on 8th. Carl ran that other shop in the North End at the Bananarama Mall. Right? And then there was always Amazing Stories. And back then, Amazing Stories would have been at the university. Giving you a little history, giving you a rundown history of where to buy comics in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. So if you ever go down to Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, for whatever reason, whether you're there for traveling or you want to check out, there are many great restaurants. If you just want a nice, quiet, peaceful prairie vacation, Saskatoon. Right? These are so good. Oh gosh, this is a vicious looking cover. That's an ice skate. Come on. What are you doing? It's on scaffolding and using ice skates? Joker, you're out of control. These are great. These are great. I'm glad I finally opened these. I was waiting for the right time. For the right time. All right, there we go. Kelly Jones. I think we need more Kelly Jones inspired figures. Anyway, I know that we kind of got some with like Legends of Batman from Kenner. Or was it Legends of Batman? I don't think it was Legends of Batman. They were like the bigger figures. I know we got some style ones like that of his. And I think that was pretty cool. Right? Toy Art, I remember these. Never seen them as a set, however, in my years working for Mile High Comics. You know what? I have never seen it either. Oh, comic. Where's the other card? Go ahead. I didn't know that they came in a set either, to be honest. I had, like I said, I saw it there at Collector's Edge. They had a few of these. Maybe next time, if they're still there when I go back, maybe I'll grab a couple for prizes later on. I kind of regret, because I think they had like 4 of these there. And now I'm kind of regretting not picking them all up. Should have hoarded them. That's what I should have done. Oh well. Now I know. Keep an eye out for them. Randall, this is the Batman full cast audio drama called Legend of Robin, which covered the lonely place of dying and Joker's second miniseries. Had John Shea play King Snake and Mark Hamill as Joker. Take note. Timestamp it, folks, at 1 hour, because you're going to need to have to come back to this. Kevin Maguire is awesome. Gosh, he's so good. Underrated. I think Kevin Maguire doesn't get talked about enough. Well, it doesn't help when I'm showing off his art and don't say his name. So I'm part of the problem. Randall, that Robin costume is so good. It's the best. It's the best one. It's not even nostalgia talking. Sorry, Damien. Richard, this brings back memories. Picked up all these at my local comic shop back in the day. Yeah, man, it's a time warp for sure. And yeah, Nolan remembers Tramps, dude. Tramps on 8th had that back issue selection, which I know is now like the Collector's Edge basement. But man, when you're getting into comics for the first time and it's like 1990, 91, 92, and you see all these like back issues for the first time, it's like, it's heaven. That place is, I think Collector's Edge, again, is like, if you're a comic book collector and if you just happen to be just in Saskatoon for whatever reason, check it out, man, because he's got all these like short boxes too along the wall, and they're all alphabetical. Like, I remember I was like looking for like the first 5 issues of Spawn. I just wanted the single issues, and sure enough, pull it out of there, bang, they're there. They weren't with the Spawn section, but they're up on the wall. So like in these long boxes on shelves along the wall. So just again, do that at any comic store and toy store. You see like boxes that are like stuff that's for sale, just collecting dust. Go through them, man. You'll find treasure. Right? Great. Yeah, great use of mixed media. Absolutely. That was Honor Guard. Honor Guard. Nolan, yeah, they still have tramps in Prince Albert. I've heard that. One of my best friends, Garson, he still lives. He's out in Prince Albert. I don't know if they really do comics as much as they do like vinyl and stuff, right? I can't remember. Anyway, Richard, agreed. Drake's costume is the best for me as well, right? Randall, Brayfogle, and Tom Grummett were for me the 2 best Tim Drake's artists. Tom Grummett, Saskatoon native. We're just gonna keep bringing him up. Nicest guy, man. And you can go to Amazing Stories at any point in time, and he will, you know what? He'll probably show up. If you know who you're looking for, Tom Grummett will be there. He's a very nice man. Very nice man. Speaking of Saskatoon again, sorry, I miss 8th Street Books and Comics. I miss Pat. Nolan didn't know the Joker played for the Chiefs. Monsters from Beyond. I want some nice Blood Rain figures. Me too. Right? Just full on ears for Miles. Yes. Right? Big. I am certain that this is like that Batman is what inspired a little bit of the Gotham series, right? The higher the bat ears, the closer to God. That is Jacob Walsh. The higher the bat ears, the closer to God. I'm trying to read that like Jacob Walsh would say it. Gotham Stalker, I need that Robin set. You do. This is what you're going to type in. Robin 2, Deluxe Collector's Set. Right? When you think about it, $37, even $30 in the US for 1991, like, that's expensive. Daniel finally managed to get my Jada 1/24th Joker Corvette and the Harley Quinn Corvette. Covert? Oh gosh, am I not reading things correctly again? All the new Batman Funko Pops for the Flash. The glitter one, crazily awesome. The McFarlane Silver Azrael. That's quite the haul. Toy art. Yep, Brayfogle was the business. Agreed. I need to get Toy Art on the show at some point because he can remember everybody's name and he's just got the knowledge. He's so good at all this stuff. So Toy Art, be prepared. You're probably going to be on this show in the incoming weeks. Honor Guard DC. If I head to Saskatoon now, Google Maps says 1 day, 4 hours, unless I take a shortcut through Nevada and shave off an hour. Yeah. Dude, if you're in like central United States of America, you just go up. Drive straight. You'll hit Saskatoon. Randall, Ryan, there's a place in Arizona called Bookman's where used comics were a nickel or a dime. My dad made a mistake and gave $10. A lot of comics later, I was occupied for a while. Dude, I miss... Yeah, there's the nickel and dime bins. There's the 25-cent bins. Man, I know Collector's Edge still has that. There used to be a place in Vancouver here, one of the Tri-City areas of Burnaby, called Talkin' Illustrations. Again, it was just one of those stores had all the comic books lined up, and then just rows and rows and rows of back issues. And then underneath all the new stuff, he had all these long boxes of 25-cent bin. I miss it. Also, it's hard because I actually need to unload some comics this summer. I have so many long boxes of floppies, and then I go and buy like all the trades, and then I have the trades and the comics. So it seems a little redundant. So unless it's like something super nostalgia, maybe something I really liked or whatever, I think the rest are just going to have to take a trip to Collector's Edge. But I don't mind getting back store credit for that because I'll use it. Richard, don't know if he ever did a Batman comic, but I always loved Mike Grell's work, Green Arrow and Sable. I believe Mike Grell did do a Batman at some point. Yeah, toy art. Yeah, let's figure it out. Nolan, they might not always be in the best shape, but I can find some great books and cheap bins. Yeah, absolutely. Because sometimes you're not even looking for like, what did I get there last time? I think I got like some of those, like last time I was at Collector's Edge. So at Christmas time, I got some like Malibu Mortal Kombat comics because I like the covers. And I was like, I'm going to grab these. Awful. I was expecting like, the covers look so dynamic, and it's Mortal Kombat, right? So I'm not expecting necessarily like ultra violence, but I'm expecting ultra action. And all it was talking heads, and I was like, "Come on, it's Mortal Kombat. Give me something good to eat." Setpool, what's up, dude? Welcome. I'm just about to finish up here. Randall, we need an episode just to talk about Batman writer-artist combos from the 70s to 2000s. Mike Grell drew Detective before he went on to Legion of Superheroes and Green Lantern. Damn, Randall. Dropping the history. I think next week, if there's no big news, let's talk comics. I know a lot of people come here to talk toys and movies, so we'll do a little bit of movie talk, but let's definitely do deep dive into some comics. And speaking of comics right now too, just so everyone kind of knows what I'm reading, and I know it's Marvel, but I don't understand how I never picked up these comics earlier. But those what are they called? Marvel Epic Collections. They'll have like a year's worth of comics. It's all in full color, beautiful trades. I started picking up the Daredevil from the 80s. And it's so good. Holy moly. How did I never pick up 80s Daredevil? I kind of went from like Kevin Smith's run in the late 90s and then forward. I never really went backwards with Daredevil. And man, oh man, I'm glad I'm finding it like now because it's kind of fun to be able to find something you never knew was so good. Like getting to discover something for the first time. So it's been an absolute treat. Just speaking of, sorry. I know we're talking about going back in time, but Daredevil, man. Damn. 80s New York was different. Richard, I helped a comic shop that went out of business with inventory and the price received $500. Oh, nice. That's cool. Got paid in books. Sad to see them not in town anymore and enjoy the issues. Yeah, dude, it was hard there for a while. A lot of shops, especially during peak pandemic, we lost a lot of shops, right? What's going on, Seti? We got Stacy Keebler in the Hall of Fame. Yes, we've got our first referee. Tim White is going to the Hall of Fame as well. Absolutely. Right? Roman losing. He's going to lose. Roman's going to lose. It's okay, though. Dude, it's been a hell of a story, right? Or also from Seti, are you reading Riddler Year One? Some great covers? No, but I am going to buy the trade. My comic shop is going to put the trade on hold for me when it is in. And I cannot wait to read that. I'm also cannot wait to read all the Batman Rogues Gallery series of One Bad Day. And I'm really looking forward to those as well. I'm waiting for those on trade. It's just hard with work. It's hard for me to get to the comic shop. So I just have to be like, well, your trade waiting now. Plus, I need to stop getting so many floppies to begin with, right? Chuckles shirt. Chuckles, thank you for being here. Some of Frank Miller's best. Absolutely. Absolutely. I honestly think like the 80s was definitely Frank Miller's time. And when you really think, like when I was thinking about the 80s in general when it comes to comics, like Marvel especially, so gritty. Like I can see why they went from, because they went so gritty that by the time the 90s hit, it was like overload of like color and spectacular and clean lines, right? Like it was wild. Like when you even think back to like 80s X-Men and just 80s Batman and even some 80s Superman, right? Like 80s Superman was more John Byrne, but I mean like that whole thing changed too, right? That whole dynamic of how Superman works, like he's fighting corporate, right? Wild. Monsters from Batman. Everything's Batman now. From Beyond, Daredevil is more interesting than Batman. Dude, we should have a debate. I should host a debate. I'm curious because I could fight either way on that one because you are. That's not a hot take. I'm not going to say you're right, but that's also not a hot take. Not here. Not on this show. Honor Guard, when I was a kid, I lived in Stockton, California. Stan Lee visited the local comic shop and declared Stockton the hometown of the Fantastic Four. That's awesome. It was written into a few Marvel Fantastic Four comics. That's really awesome. Right? And yeah, you say, yeah, Monsters says as a lover of Batman. Yeah, no, dude, you can be a lover of Batman and still say you find it's okay. It's okay. Other characters are more interesting than a lot of my favorite characters. Believe me. Honor Guard, in a city needed resident crime fighting team, is Stockton. Sedpool, yeah, those Bad Day comics look great. They look so good. I agree. Yes, I brought this up earlier on the show. I know you missed it. You have to catch the replay. I did talk about Clayface in the Batman 2. I'm excited about it. He's a perfect villain for when you're doing a detective Batman story. And just to recap as well for anyone that jumps on later, the one thing I said about it is I want them to go all out. I want shape-shifting. I want dripping mud. I want it to almost be a horror movie mixed with a detective story. It's kind of what I want, right? Flash 739, I started collecting after Batman 89. I was so overwhelmed when I went to the local shop. Thankfully, a year later, X-Force #1 hit and was hooked. Dude, that was a gateway drug for so many folks getting into comic books. X-Force, X-Men #1, all of that whole 90s X-Men era. Like, there's a reason why those are still some of the best-selling comics of all time. And that is because of X-Men. Jim Lee. That's just how it is. All right, I'm going to read this one from Richard, and then I'm going to start heading out, folks. All right, Richard CPL, Batman is my main character. My mother got me reading the Batman comics. However, it's Dick and all the other Robins know that I associated with being a young preteen boy. Same here. I'm a Robin guy. And I know I've had more than one person be like, because I said, I relate more to Robin, like especially Tim Drake, right? And he was just like, oh, you're the type of kid that needed that. You're the reason he exists, that kind of thing. So, I don't regret it, and I'm glad I am that kid that needed it, and I'm glad that I'm that kid that got it. Right? End of the day, it's about me. So, anyways, just want to say good night to everyone. Yeah, bid you adieu. It's my Kenny Omega. I love Kenny Omega, by the way. Next week, yeah, let's talk more into comics. I think it was last week they dropped the solicitations for DC. Let's just go through them. Let's take a look at all the cool covers. Let's talk about the artists. Let's talk about artists from the past. Let's just go through it. And let's talk about those swimsuit covers. Right? Fan service. This is a safe space here. I believe that we can all say we love swimsuit editions of comics, right? And I think that's something, I know they're doing the covers, but I think they need to bring it back. I think we need to bring back summer swimsuit specials, right? Image used to do them. Marvel used to do them. DC used to do them. Hey man, that's how I discovered who Adam Hughes is. Swimsuit issues. So I think we need to bring that back. Let the covers be the catalyst for the summer of swimsuits 2024. All right, the covers of 23 will give us the special editions of 2024. And so thank you everyone for being here. If you liked hanging out, give this a like. If you want to bring other people here and have fun and talk comics, tell them about the show, right? We're almost at we're halfway to 1,000 subscribers. Like I said, it's like if we can get there by July, like I said, I got prizes. I've got exclusive Across the Spiderverse crew gear and merch that's going to be prizes. There's going to be an art of book from Spider-Verse that's going to be a prize, signed prints, toys. We're going to go all out. Let's make this a very special place to talk about DC Comics and Batman without having to get into fights about which director should be doing it and whether or not Netflix should have this. So with that said, thank you everyone for hanging out tonight. Thank you for being here, right? Sun's out, cables, guns out. Dude, I'm going to have you on the show when we talk about swimsuit issues. You get it. And we can talk about that Colossus pinup too. You know the one I'm talking about. All right, everyone. Have a great night. And wait, how does my roll off go? Yeah. Good night, Gotham.